From the mysterious footprints of unknown creatures to puzzling ships abandoned in the middle of impenetrable thickets. Today, on the Facts Room channel, we will venture into the depths of the densest jungles and reveal 20 astonishing mysteries that challenge all our usual notions of the world. You can expect stories about lost civilizations, unfathomable natural phenomena, and legendary beings that haunt the minds of explorers. Please give a like and subscribe. It really helps me. Stay with us until the very end, because we have saved the most astounding discovery for last. The valleys of the Amazon River are generally famous for their breathtaking natural diversity. One of the most unusual attractions of this region is the so-called floating forests. Imagine huge islands of dense vegetation that literally move across the water like little green continents. These solid masses form through complex processes related to flood seasons. Dead plants and tree remnants stick together, creating a dense cushion. Seeds of trees then sprout on top, forming real groves right on the water's surface. Some people even manage to settle there, though their neighbors often turn out to be snakes and alligators, which are also drawn to these fragile islands. This natural wonder offers a glimpse of just how resourceful life can be, adapting to the ever-changing world of the tropics. Picture an ancient metropolis, swallowed by lush vegetation and hidden from the eyes of travelers for centuries. El Mirador is exactly such a city, and archaeologists did not learn of it right away. This area once served as a hub of the great Maya civilization. It is believed that at its peak, many people lived here, and the city was closely connected with other settlements that had even larger populations. But what happened to these mighty builders? The Maya disappeared without a trace, and the overgrowth claimed their structures. Only relentless research helped put El Mirador back on the map. Some compare its discovery to that of Pompeii. At one time, it too seemed lost to darkness, until it was uncovered under layers of earth and plants. And although current expeditions are in full swing, scientists continue to find new temples and plazas that extend even deeper into the jungle. It might seem as if there is nothing left that has not been found in the remote thickets, but how could a humpback whale possibly end up there? Indeed, such a mysterious incident occurred on one of the islands off the coast of Brazil, where the Amazon River Delta is located. Researchers stumbled upon a dead whale in the middle of the vegetation, lying quite far from the shore. The explanation, however, lies in the fluctuations of water levels. Powerful tides in this region can raise the water very high, flooding vast expanses of land. Apparently, the whale's body had already been dead when a strong current carried it inland during high ocean water, and once the tide receded, the giant carcass was stranded in a place where it did not belong. The sight still amazes researchers today, reminding us of how unpredictable nature can be. In South Asian countries, there are many hard-to-reach corners that hide something astonishing. One such place is the colossal rock formation in Sri Lanka known as Kurak. Even in ancient times, people built fortifications and temples on its summits and in the clefts of these monoliths. According to legends, it once served as a refuge from enemy raids and a safe place for keeping precious relics. Over the centuries, Kurak has become a symbol of resilience and grandeur. Its mighty walls, carved out of solid rock, still amaze visitors with their size. Archaeologists find unique traces of culture here, while tourists come to witness the mist stretching over these huge stone bastions, enveloping them in the atmosphere of a bygone era. For history buffs and lovers of breathtaking landscapes, this place is a true revelation. Sometimes even an ordinary forest can astonish us with abnormal sights. In one Canadian coniferous forest, a local resident recorded a video showing the ground literally rising and falling as though it were a giant set of lungs. People online were shocked. Could the forest actually have its own life and be breathing in the literal sense? In reality, the secret lay in the tree's roots and strong winds. Powerful gusts swayed the trunks, along with the interconnected root systems. The soil lifted and dropped, creating that very illusion of breathing. Yet one must admit, the spectacle is so mesmerizing that, for a moment, you might believe in the magic of nature. Far out in the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean lies a tiny island almost completely covered by thick foliage, inhabited by Aboriginal people who want nothing to do with the outside world. This is the Sentinelese tribe on North Sentinel Island. It is impossible to visit them legally. Authorities forbid any interaction because anyone who has tried to land there has either been killed by arrows or miraculously fled. Many stories of attempted contact have ended in hostility. There have been cases where curious individuals or unsuspecting fishermen crossed into their territory and immediately faced aggression from the tribe. Scholars suggest that these people want to preserve their uniqueness and see outsiders as a direct threat. As a result, the government of India officially banned any approach to the island to prevent more casualties and to avoid introducing diseases for which the Sentinelese have no immunity. Number 1. Sometimes in the jungle, you come across buildings with a creepy nickname: the Witch's House. This story is unfortunately not about real sorceresses and potions. In reality, the construction in this swampy area appeared back in the middle of the 17th century and belonged to an entirely ordinary family for many years. Later, a new owner built a mansion there, known as Flint Home, crafted in a picturesque yet quirky style. Over time, locals noticed that the exterior resembled a cabin from frightening fairy tales, dubbing it the Witch's Abode. Naturally, this reputation caught on with tourists and anyone wanting a taste of a spooky atmosphere. And even though there is no real magic associated with this place, it has become a minor sensation and the source of urban legends. Among the towering trees of the Amazon, there are spots that glow almost like a fairy tale at night. As it turns out, certain mushroom species in these forests emit a soft greenish light. People noticed this phenomenon back in the century before last, but then lost track of it for a long time, only rediscovering the luminous caps closer to the modern era. Scientists explain the effect as bioluminescence. A special enzyme interacts with certain molecules, causing a glow. It is believed that the fungi do this to repel predators or to attract insects that spread their spores. Local tribes have long attributed magical powers to these mushrooms and used them as a sort of night light deep in the jungle. Seeing those flickering caps among roots and vines, you cannot help feeling that you have stepped into another realm. Ecuador has long been known for legends about mysterious structures left by ancient tribes. But when researchers came upon massive stone walls, on a scale surpassing everything previously known, they proposed the possibility of a race of giants once inhabiting these lands. The colossal constructions, according to witnesses, look as if they were built by beings much taller and stronger than ordinary humans. In addition to the walls, people found tools that were abnormally large, further supporting the giant theory. What became of these mysterious builders? Science has yet to provide a definitive answer. Some believe it is unique architectural heritage, while others think that giant humans might once have lived here, although perhaps not exactly as in the myths. Either way, this city remains one of the most captivating and least studied discoveries. In the Peruvian section of the Amazon, there is a river whose water is so hot that plunging into it can cause severe burns. Locals have known about it for a very long time. They boiled food in it and used the water for various ritual practices. However, the Western world doubted the likelihood of boiling water in the middle of the jungle. Only when a geologist seriously investigated the matter was it confirmed. The water really can heat up to nearly 100 degrees. The question is just where that heat comes from, since there are no nearby volcanoes or obvious geothermal springs. The riddle remains unsolved. Some theorize that something is happening deep beneath the Earth, while others suggest hidden thermal faults. However, the locals get by just fine without scientific hypotheses. They continue to use the warm current for their needs, as their ancestors did. When you think of jungles, you rarely expect to find a vessel of enormous size there, as though it had come straight from a sci-fi screen. Yet once, in a remote corner of a tropical island, travelers stumbled upon a massive abandoned ship. It appeared relatively modern, as if ready to set sail, except the crew was nowhere to be found, and an eerie silence reigned around it. Later it was discovered that the ship had a bad reputation. Residents of nearby villages whispered tales of some tragedy that cost the lives of the people on board. Vessels like this are called ghost ships because they somehow end up where they clearly do not belong. Rumor has it that, from time to time, particularly daring visitors rent out rooms here when no other lodging is available, but they do so warily. People who have spent the night in this place have often reported seeing strange lights and hearing voices. We tend to think that the greatest pyramid builders were the Egyptians or the civilizations of Central America. But deep in the Amazon, on the territory of Bolivia and Brazil, researchers found structures vaguely resembling those pyramids in shape. At first, it seemed impossible that such constructions could exist where nearly all the land is swallowed by tropical forest. However, modern methods such as satellite imaging revealed odd lines and protrusions that seem like the ruins of large cities with pyramidal platforms. Archaeologists speculate that there once was a developed civilization here, capable of building large-scale structures akin to those of the Maya or the Aztecs. Full confirmation is yet to be found, but the mystery fires the imagination and drives scholars to keep returning to uncover the secrets of these legendary forest pyramids. Continuing on the subject of great civilizations, we cannot overlook Caracol. It was one of the major Maya cities, located in what is today Belize. It once served as an important political center. Life thrived here, and massive buildings were erected, adorned with carvings and paintings. However, with the collapse of Maya civilization, Caracol also fell into decline. Dense overgrowth almost completely concealed its stone walls and pyramids. The city was considered lost to history until, in the early part of the last century, it was stumbled upon by soldiers. Over subsequent years, archaeologists performed monumental work to restore the city's former appearance. And even now, not all the secrets of Caracol have been revealed. A legend about a lost city of the monkey god has enthralled adventurers for ages. People told of a white city hidden somewhere in the depths of the Honduran jungle, and for centuries, no one could find it. The first hints appeared at the start of the previous century, but it was decades later that a team of scholars finally approached real ruins. Eventually, they discovered the remains attributed to this legendary place. The news was covered by the press as a sensation. The stories of the city of the monkey god had seemed nothing but a colorful myth. To prove the authenticity of the discovery, archaeologists published photographs and reports on the artifacts found. Thus, the myth yielded to history, though there is still much to explore about who lived in this mythical location and why it was abandoned. From a bird's-eye view, the Amazon rainforest appears as an endless green sea, but upon closer inspection, you can spot strange circular structures in the soil. These ditches, geometric lines, and rings can be enormous, and they occur in Brazil and Bolivia. Some are so perfectly shaped that it seems they must have been part of a grand construction project by an unknown culture. Researchers believe these circles are older than the forest itself. suggesting humans lived here long before the current green canopy took over. Some theorize they were used for agriculture, served as fortifications, or had ritual significance. But there is no definitive explanation. One thing is certain: recent scientific findings suggest that the indigenous peoples of the Amazon may not have lived only in simple communities. They may have created impressive feats of engineering. Moving to the jungles of Central America, in Costa Rica, you can encounter mysterious spheres perfectly carved out of stone. Locals call them boles de piedra, and there are several hundred such spheres scattered throughout various areas. Their sizes vary. Some are quite small, just a few centimeters in diameter, while others are gigantic, reaching 2 or more meters. It remains unclear why local tribes invested so much effort in creating them. Some theories suggest they were symbols of power or served as astronomical markers. Others think they were part of a ritual system. Yet there is no definitive answer. Perhaps that is their special charm. We know they are man-made, but their purpose and former significance remain a mystery. You might think that the incredible being known as the Yeti resides only in deep forests on the other side of the globe. However, there are also tales of something similar being sighted in tropical jungles, though much less frequently. Of course, people have long debated its existence. Some are convinced they have encountered it face to face, while others dismiss the stories as myths or hoaxes. Nonetheless, that does not stop dedicated adventurers from continuing their expeditions in hopes of proving they are right. Television shows revolving around the search for Bigfoot attract a wide audience, yet no one can present irrefutable evidence. Most so-called findings are blurry footprints in the mud or strange video clips that fail serious scrutiny. If you are skeptical, it is entirely understandable. On the other hand, the legend remains strong, and many fans of the mysterious truly believe that one day all secrets will be revealed. Sometimes marvelous discoveries are tied not to fear, but to profound religious devotion. For instance, in India, there are legendary footprints attributed to the monkey god Hanuman, a devoted follower of the great Rama. In some areas, you can see distinct indentations in the ground, and even in solid stone, shaped like enormous footprints. Interestingly, similar giant footprints appear not just in India, but also in other Asian nations, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and nearby regions. They are too much alike to be dismissed as mere coincidences or hoaxes. Some believe they are a mark of divine power, manifested through Hanuman. The scientific community, however, finds it difficult to offer a definitive explanation. Possibly these are skillfully made ancient shrines or monumental tributes of faith, whose true origin is lost in the depths of time. When speaking of any remote tropical area, keep in mind that the strangest discoveries may still be waiting for their moment to be found. We have gone over already known phenomena: lost cities, mythical creatures, and unique natural events. Yet, in the depths of the jungle, especially in the Amazon, countless mysteries remain, ones of which we are not yet even aware. No matter how hard researchers work, not all corners of those dense thickets are accessible to science. There could be unknown animals, undiscovered tribes, or ancient ruins that simply have not yet caught humanity's eye. The steady stream of new findings by scientists indicates that we are only at the beginning of unraveling a vast number of secrets. Concluding our tour of these remarkable discoveries and stories, we must remember the peoples who still live as recluses amid these impenetrable forests. Deep in the Amazon, there are several tribes that prefer not to engage with modern civilization. More than that, they fiercely protect their lands from any external intrusion. Unfortunately, deforestation and illegal resource extraction threaten their very existence. Some tribes have been pushed to the brink of extinction. Governments and environmental organizations are striving to preserve these unique cultures and their habitats. After all, when we lose indigenous communities, we lose part of humanity's history and invaluable knowledge about living in harmony with nature. Thus, we have unveiled the secrets of some of the most exotic and mysterious corners of our planet, journeying along tangled jungle paths and listening to the echoes of ancient legends. Which discoveries surprised you the most? Perhaps the strangest revelations still lie hidden in the depths of the forests, awaiting their first discoverers. You never really know what you might uncover, where civilization seems only a distant echo.